Right now at 5:30, a KGW weather impact alert as heavy rains and strong winds batter the Portland metro and beyond, with the very real threat of rising rivers and already soaked soil sparking the possibility of new landslides, with thousands of people from round one still in the dark. Well, thanks for joining us. I'm David Mulco. Let's get right to it with Celine Stevens, because Celine, the rain just keeps coming.
David, yeah, definitely. The good news is we're going to have a little bit of a break. Not really. It's just going to taper off as we get into our Friday, but that's not for a few more hours. Right now, looking at our sky camera in Salem, 57 degrees. Winds coming out of the south at 22 miles per hour, and that rain's just been coming down all day long. We're looking at our radar right now. As you can see, it's just been a consistent wave of rain. Looks like we've also seen some strikes of lightning as well, so some thunderstorm activity. Very minimal, though, it appears. But again, we've just been seeing that heavy, consistent rainfall since early this morning, all the way through now. It's 5:30 p.m., and we really haven't gotten a break. And as we get into the next few hours, we're really just going to see that continue. But again, just for the next few hours, a lot of orange and yellow, red even, meaning very heavy rainfall. Portland mainly staying green. We're looking at right now, as we get into the next few hours, by around 3 a.m., things are going to change. We're going to see things really start to lighten up, even really no rain activity here in the Portland area along the coast as well at this hour. Some snow in the mountains, and it's going to stay like that for a couple hours. And then as we get further into our Friday, we're really just going to be dealing with that spotty shower activity. So again, rain, but nothing like what we saw today with the widespread, heavy, consistent rain. Of course, that doesn't mean the risk of flooding goes anywhere, especially as we get into our weekend. We're still dealing with flood warnings and advisories. Quick look at temperatures: 57 here, 58 in Troutdale, upper 40s in Scappoose, along the coast seeing temperatures in the 50s there as well. And so next 3 days, we have our weather impact alert on Friday, temperatures peaking in the upper 40s, some spotty showers Saturday, more rain comes Sunday. David, we'll talk more in a bit.
Hey, we'll take spotty showers over a downpour. Thanks, Celine. Well, as the rain continues to fall, people in the Portland metro area who live along Johnson Creek, the Clackamas River, and other significant waterways are now preparing to defend their homes or likely flee their homes against the potential of rising floodwaters. Let's bring in John Adams live in southeast Portland near Johnson Creek, parts of which we should note, John, are under a flood warning. What are you seeing right now?
Yeah, David, so we, just to give a lay of the land here, we are just a few blocks away from Westmoreland Park, and Crystal Springs Creek that flows from near Reed College through Eastmoreland down to this area is right behind us. That flows not far from here into Johnson Creek, very close to where we're standing right now. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, or NOAA, is forecasting parts of Johnson Creek, particularly near Powell Butte and Sycamore, that's east of me, will reach moderate to major flood stages in the coming hours, likely peaking late this evening. Right now, the gauges show it's steadily climbing, and they are urging all residents who live anywhere near it to watch for fast rising floodwaters. And that's a warning people that live along the creek are paying attention to. We met Brian Jetty at a sandbag filling station earlier today at Lentz Park in southeast Portland. This is one of 2 free filling stations provided by the city. Jetty telling us this time of year flooding is a constant worry for his neighborhood.
So we're getting some sandbags. We got a couple of spots in our backyard that tends to flood over when it gets really rainy. Coming here is a good option for us.
Well, David, back here live at Westmoreland Park. The rain's still coming down, a little bit lighter right now than it was maybe about 30 minutes or so ago, but it has been constant throughout the day. And folks along Johnson Creek, it'll be an anxious couple hours as we head into the evening, I'm sure. Back to you.
No kidding. Appreciate you being out in the weather and keeping everyone posted. John Adams in southeast Portland. Thanks, John. Well, call the atmospheric river round 2 right after Wednesday's early morning windstorm that brought down trees and power lines across the Portland metro, including on a school bus in West Lynn. They trapped a driver and student inside until TVFNR crews arrived and worked with PGE to cut power and get both out safely. Meanwhile, in Clark County, more than 3,000 customers are still in the dark. Catherine Cook checked out the damage late last night in East Vancouver.
In East Vancouver, the marathon of power restoration continued Wednesday night. Crews from Clark Public Utilities repairing power lines toppled by trees. Neighbors here lost power around 1:30 Wednesday morning.
I heard the wind
when the storm bore down, but they're hopeful
that the lights get turned on and my freezer full of salmon doesn't go bad.
For now, Andrew Culver's getting by with a headlamp and candles.
We don't miss it until it's gone. So like our phones, I've had to huckle down in my car to charge my my phone.
At one point, Clark PUD reported 98,000 customers were without power.
Things have been very busy, just trying to restore power, triage the damage, and build a game plan.
Damian Pizzanti with Clark PUD says crews are working around the clock and relying on customers to report power outages to help them pinpoint the damage. Crews snap photos like this bird's eye view of downed power poles in Hawkinson. All over Clark County, massive trees uprooted as saturated soil gave way to high wind.
To date, I have not experienced an atmospheric river this large or seen outages to quite this level at one time.
In Camas, the storm plagued local businesses, including Grains of Wrath. Parts of their outdoor seating area shredded. The restaurant posted they're closed until further notice.
We were going to eat here, but now we're going to find something else, hopefully. The power is hit and miss throughout the town. Some things are open, and right next door, some things are closed.
Back in East Vancouver, a sober reminder that this was just round one.
As we are digging ourselves out of this storm, we are actively planning and discussing how we're going to prepare for the next one.
And for that reason, a message to crews from Andrew, co-signed by countless others.
I know that they're working very hard, and thank you very much for all that you do.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Just a bit of an update here. Clark Public Utilities actually now reporting less than 500 customers remain in the dark. That is great news considering it was more than 100,000 at one point yesterday. Officials also sharing a critical reminder. If you see a down power line, assume it's live. Stay as far away as possible. It means in your home or vehicle. If you are trapped, immediately call 911. Meanwhile, first responders in Forest Grove helped rescue a person who was stuck in a flooded marsh. This was on Highway 47 around 5 this morning between Oak Street and Sunset Drive. Authorities say they found the person about 100 feet from the highway, stuck in water and thick vegetation, about 4 feet deep. Deputies and firefighters got them out safely and to a hospital in order to get checked out. Meantime, the promise of snow, which has now turned back into rain on Mount Hood, and what has been a slow, virtually non-existent start to ski season. Corey Johnson checked in at government camp.
Right now, we're at the rest area here at Government Camp where the power is currently out. Residents tell us the power has been out since last night and it's created some difficulty as we deal with the snowy conditions. Now, again, the power is currently down at the rest area. PGE trucks have pulled in and out of this area, but no change yet to the situation as of 9 this morning. We've also seen quite a few snow trucks make multiple passes at the roadway, cars driving slowly to make sure they make it to their destinations pretty safe this morning. The snowfall measurable this morning as well. We stuck a 5-inch pin in the snow at about 7 a.m. and you can see only the tip of the pin is showing right now. Now, as of noon, we're expected to get 6 inches of snowfall. Now, it's not ideal for people who are driving in it, of course, but the snow is definitely a welcome sight for skiers. This has been a slow start to the ski season, which typically opens on November 16th. And because it's been such a slow start, it's had an impact on business here at Timberline as well. And this is a similar story to what we saw 2 years ago with the delayed season due to the lack of snow. Here at the Mountain Pass, one truck driver heading from Portland to Sun River Bend told us this morning he decided to turn around because of the snowy conditions.
It's been fine until we got about 8 miles down the road and it's just slip and ice and there's like no traffic coming through here. I'd like to make it home tonight, and I don't know if continuing is going to do that. So
now 6 inches of snow is expected to reach this area by noon and then is going to turn to rain. But snow levels are set to return again through the end of Christmas as we get into tomorrow. Back to you.
Corey Johnson up there on the mountain. Rain on snow on rain. Eventually we'll get it, right? Our weather impact alert coverage continues in just 2 minutes, including signs of improvement in parts of northwestern Washington. We need that in the community that's already been through so much. Plus, Celine's full forecast, including your weekend. Dry time somewhere in there straight ahead as this atmospheric river continues to barrel its way through. Stay with us.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Welcome back on this Weather Impact Alert Day. We're near Seattle. Some evacuation orders have been lifted for parts of the city of Pacific after a levee on the White River broke earlier this week, forcing people in some 200 homes to evacuate. You can see why water now, by the way, has started to recede, with crews working to install temporary sandbag barriers to block the overflow. Giving a sense of the scale here, the National Guard was also called in to help.
My kids are asking Mom, why is like the Army outside? What can you tell them? They're here to help.
They certainly are. County officials are still warning people in the area that more evacuation orders are possible. And farther north in Skagit County, some neighbors in Burlington are expressing anger and frustration with the city as they try to salvage what is left inside their homes. Some believe trash clogging up a slough made the flooding there even worse. Maddie White has more.
Oh my gosh, that's horrible.
A strong stench now lingers inside once beautifully decorated homes in Burlington.
Oh yeah, be careful, this is slippery.
On Friday, 8 feet of water filled these rooms.
I feel a lot of anger.
It's one of dozens of homes most impacted, right along the Gages Slough.
And there is more that they could be doing.
Kimber Gustin says litter in the slough is partially to blame.
It wasn't just trees. There are couches, cushions, mattresses, washers. People use it as a dumping zone.
And she isn't the only one.
So I might have had less damage in my house if it had drained down quicker.
At a town hall held this week,
the water almost immediately drained down when they went in and cleared the debris that was clogging the drain.
Burlington Mayor Bill Aslett got an earful.
I have never seen the city cleaning
from many angry neighbors.
The slough does work well. It's just that we were overwhelmed by the largest amounts of water that have ever entered the city of Burlington by a huge amount.
Is it the responsibility of the city to make sure that slough is doing what it's supposed to do?
To manage the pipes that are set up to be part of the surface water storm system, yes.
Mayor Aslett told King 5 Wednesday, quote, "Our teams are working around the clock to support affected residents, clear debris where appropriate, and restore services. While we remain focused on active response and initial recovery, I am not able to provide further comment."
Maddie White there. Just a reminder, Celine, that this is the one in a long series of storms. Western Washington hit particularly hard. Watching those rivers, of course, across the Portland metro tonight, as well as that rain just continues to come down.
Yeah, and like we've been talking about, we've already been dealing with that saturated soil for over a week, and then you have the high winds that are pushing the trees over. It's just a really dangerous.
And still picking up the power lines, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's a really dangerous situation. But let's go ahead and take a look right now outside. Good news is we are going to have a little bit of a, I don't really want to say break, but things are going to lessen as we get into the next, into the next 24 hours, things are going to lessen. And so right now, looking at our sky camera in the Rose City, 57 degrees, winds coming out of the southwest at 13 miles per hour right now. Rain's still coming down at the moment. Looking at our sky camera in Vancouver at the Springs at the waterfront, upper 50s there as well. Wind speeds are low at 8 miles per hour, but gusts getting up to 22 miles per hour. We're seeing a wind advisory there as well as here in Portland and other areas too. And you'll see it here on the map. Lots of things lit up right now. We have a wind advisory for our region. We have a high wind warning along the coast. And of course, we have this flood watch here for our area, as well as from the coast to the mountains. Also, some areas seeing a flood warning, like along the river. So just the potential for flooding everywhere. Some areas obviously already seeing that flooding. Notice that it goes into Saturday morning. So all because the rain's going to be slowing down doesn't mean that the risk for flooding goes away. We're also looking at a winter storm warning too being issued early tomorrow morning for portions of the Cascades. They'll also have a winter weather advisory for other areas like Government Camp. They could see around a foot of snow coming up in the next day or so. So again, so much happening at the moment, but the main thing we're really focusing on is the flood watch. Looking at our headlines, heavy rain, again, that flood risk continues through our weekend. The gusty winds for the high wind warning along the coast, those gusts could be getting up to 60 miles per hour here in the metro area, up to 45. And so we just want to be staying safe as always as we continue to emphasize, don't drive through those flood waters. If you avoid the downed power lines, don't drive over those either. And really watch out for landslides as well, as that's also a big potential when we have so much rain like how we've seen over the last day or so. Looking at our satellite, that rain's been pouring all day long. Looks like Portland's gotten a little bit of a gap right there. We're the only area that had a little bit of a break, it looks like, a bit in the rain. Some areas still seeing the rainfall, but we had a little bit of that. We'll continue to see rain as we get into our evening. Looking at rainfall totals for the past 48 hours, though. Portland, 1.5 inches. We got really all that today. Looking at Tillamook, 5 inches of rain in the last 2 days. I'll tell you 4 inches of that came from the last 24 hours. So we're looking at large amounts of rain. The Dalles, 2 inches of rain the last 48 hours. And then, of course, Washington's also been dealing with a decent amount of rainfall as well. Looking at our future cast as we get into the next couple hours, more rainfall, orange and yellow, moderate rainfall. The red is that heavy rainfall that continues for the next few hours. But then notice around 3 a.m. things go dry. We're going to be seeing no more rain, at least at this time in our area. It's going to be pushing off to the east. So we're going to get a little bit of a break early Friday morning. We get into the rest of Friday and you're going to see rainfall coming in and out throughout the day. So it's basically going to be some showers throughout the day. So expect to see rain. Just don't expect to see what we saw today as we get into our Friday, which is good. We need a bit of a break from all this. But then as we get into the weekend, that rain is going to continue Saturday into Sunday and even into the following week. Looking at the rainfall we're expecting to get over the next few hours, by midnight we've tacked on, looks like another 0.8 of an inch. Mount Hood sitting at 1.5 inches. Newport another inch as well. So again, that rain really continues tonight, but notice how the totals stop skyrocketing as we get into the weekend. We don't see that a high amount of rain tacking on as we get again once we pass Friday. Looking at our 7-day weather impact alert day tomorrow, we're looking at those again, showers continuing. Highs in the upper 40s. Once we get to our weekend, we're staying in the 40s. The rain lessens. It's going to be more typical to what we're used to this time of year. And then looks like Christmas is going to be a little rainy too.
All right, nothing wrong with typical. That actually sounds great. All things
exactly.
considered.
That's a gift at this point.
Thanks, Celine. We'll see you in a few. An update, by the way, on our power outage situation now. Yes, we knew this was happening. Almost 13,000 Pacific Power customers are in the dark. You can see that in the Lincoln City area. This is a look at the outage map. Pacific Power telling us they have a loss of transmission. It appears from this to the entire city. Estimated restoration time, if you're out there in the dark right now, is 6 tomorrow morning. We'll keep you posted. Still to come, why is Measure 110, the move by Oregon voters to decriminalize drugs, which was largely rolled back, once again in the spotlight? Well, it turns out it isn't good news. That's next.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Welcome back. A new audit of Oregon's Measure 110. That's the experiment that decriminalized possession of hard drugs found it's falling far short of its goals. You may remember state lawmakers already repealed significant parts of this, including decriminalization. Blair Best takes a closer look.
Oregon's Measure 110 has been highly criticized since it passed by voters in 2020. On Wednesday, a new audit released by the Oregon Secretary of State's office found overall it's not reaching its goals. Here's Secretary of State Tobias Reed.
We found a lack of consistency, a lack of data, a lack of long-term planning.
The audit gave the Oregon Health Authority 6 recommendations, including building a roadmap with timelines and accountability, requiring all providers who get money from Measure 110 to regularly report data, and come up with a better way to measure progress.
The biggest thing, I think, is the question of urgency. This is an emergency for the state. People are dying. Businesses are suffering. People don't feel safe.
The Oregon Health Authority accepted half of the recommendations.
But the disagreement really comes with the ability to implement. So we don't want to make false promises that we can't follow through on. And
Abby Stamp at OHA says comparing data from the start of the program to now isn't currently possible.
Unfortunately, the data that are available during the time period that we would be doing the baseline analysis from approximately 2019 to 2023 don't provide a standard that our analytic subject matter experts would feel comfortable establishing baseline for.
The audit says without action by OHA to address governance, integration, and accountability, the program has little to no chance to fully deliver on its promise to help Oregonians struggling with addiction. Another challenge, the number of times state lawmakers made changes to Measure 110.
If you're changing direction constantly, it's hard to get where you're trying to go. And I think this is an example of that.
And it would be really fantastic to have the opportunity to be able to stay the course, to firmly plant a North Star in the sky and to head in that direction.
In a statement responding to the audit, House Republican leader Lucetta Elmer said Measure 110 was sold as a compassionate public health approach. Instead, it became a system with no clear direction, no meaningful accountability, and no urgency, even as overdose deaths continue to rise. This was not a failure of compassion, it was a failure of leadership.
Measure 110 was a label. It carried a really negative and sometimes a false negative narrative, being blamed for overdoses and the fentanyl epidemic. And lots of research has disproved that. And I see a pathway of opportunity ahead. I've got a really strong team of folks and incredibly dedicated providers, and we've got declining revenue ahead of us and more tumultuous waters to navigate together. But we know these services do good for people in need.
Blair Best, KGW News.
Still ahead, it is not even Christmas, but Times Square is already counting down to a brand new year. Up next, the big pieces, 4 of them, of the annual celebration that just arrived.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
we have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
All right, check this out. The countdown is on in New York's Times Square. That says the new numbers 202 and 6. I bet they reused some of those, right? Arrived ahead of the annual ball drop. They are 7 feet tall, with folks able to check them out over the next week or so before they are hoisted up to the top of the building. There are those kitschy sunglasses that make their way out every year. If you're wondering about the iconic ball well that arrived last month, organizers say it's going to be the largest one yet. I don't know how it's going to get any bigger, right? We'll stick around on streaming, because with the Kraken taking on the Calgary Flames on KGW, you have another full hour of weather impact coverage and your headlines right here on KGW+. In the meantime, let's check out the view for our Rose City sky camera. You know what? At least you can see the skyline. It's not fogged in, right? In the meantime, your top stories are coming up in just 2 minutes.